Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. This is your brother Sean Ali here, Supreme Health and Wellness by Sean Ali. And as always, family, I thank each and every one of you who tunes in, shares some of your very valuable time and energy. And as always, I pray that these brief words are received in the spirit that I am striving to deliver them in, which is the spirit of your brother, the spirit of love, and of course, and always, in the spirit and in the name of God. Man, family, as always, I pray that these brief words find you and your family and your loved ones in the best of your health, the best of your wellness, the best of your life. And as always, I pray that it is on purpose because life is on purpose. And when we lead a purposeful life, we are indeed leading a blessed life. Right? So, and I wanted to come and talk about a fun and exciting topic, right? We hear about how you can think and grow rich, right? You hear about how you can use your mind to break bricks. You can use your mind to walk over coals and your feet don't feel any fire or any pain and you're not burned, right? So we hear all of these things and see and witness all of these things that we can use our brain to move our body into a certain direction for a certain goal, right? And we accomplish it. You go to martial arts and you practice, and eventually you can learn to put your hand through boards or bricks and you don't hurt your hand. You don't say out, you're successful, right? You can put your brain power to financial riches, to financial success, and you can move your physical body right into your financial wealth. So listen, seeing as though we can move our bodies with our thought in a particular direction for a particular goal, let us think and grow healthy. Woo! Listen, let us think and grow healthy. And when we are looking at this is going into a system, our endocrine system, right? And we have a book, The Endocrinology of Healing and Health. This is the science of healing self and abundant life. Because the endocrine system, this is when we're looking at hormones, right? These are chemical messengers. Woo! Listen, hormones are chemical messengers, right? They are secreted and dispersed throughout our body from different organs. Our endocrine system this controls our hormones, right? So we're looking at the endocrine system is dispersed throughout the body, but it originates. The main two components of the endocrine system, they are in the brain, the hypothalamus and our pituitary gland, or glands, because there's two of them. So when we are looking, the hormones, they're chemical messengers. Our endocrine system, this controls our hormones. It controls our chemical messengers, right? The thyroid, your thymus, your loins, your testes for the man, your uterus for the woman, our adrenal glands. These are different areas where the hypothalamus and the pituitary glands project and cause that particular part of the body to release whatever hormone or chemical messenger they have to release. So when we are looking at this is how it works. We want to know this so we can use this. See, we want to know this so we can use this. Now we want to use it because we can use the same system. These chemical messengers are involved when you are practicing how to break boards, right? When you are practicing ballet, when you are practicing music, when you are practicing things that you are putting yourself through and moving your body. These chemical messengers, these hormones, our endocrine system is involved. So we want to now use this for the express purpose of moving the body into healing. We want to produce these hormones or chemical messengers, right? How do you control the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland? Thoughts. Woo! Listen, our thoughts. Our thoughts. So we want to, because this is what controls the body. If you stop moving right now, right? If you just stop moving, the only thing that moves is your heart and your lungs, right? Everything else we move outside of our digestive system. Everything else we are covered with striated muscles. That's what moves you. The chemical messengers that are produced by our endocrine system, they have various functions, involuntary and voluntary. When we go to create thoughts, see, this is what happens. When we go to create thoughts, and our hypothalamus, this is the thalamus, right? This is our thalamus. The hypothalamus would be this piece of material, this white piece of material right there. The pituitary glands, that's these two right here. So when we are looking, our thinking process is our frontal lobe. So things are projected. This is how the brain works. So when we create a thought, right? The thought, this is electrical, right? The hypothalamus, it translates the electrical input of the thought, and it tells the pituitary gland which hormones to produce. So this is how, if we look at this is how the brain power works, and this works. So when we produce that thought in that executive branch, that frontal lobe, this is an electrical input. It is projected to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is the bridge between the electrical and the chemical, right? So we're looking at the thought is electrical. Hormones are chemical, right? So how do you get from chemical or electrical to chemical? So the hypothalamus, it translates the electrical input of the thought, and it sends that translation to the pituitary glands. And from there, the pituitary glands will determine which organs to activate to produce those particular hormones or chemical messengers, right? For instance, let's say you have the thought of fear. Woo! Right? You have the thought of fear. The hypothalamus will translate that thought and projects it to the pituitary gland. Now, the organ associated with fear is our adrenal glands. This is called the HPA axis. The HPA axis, the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal glands axis. This is stress. This is where cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine comes from. So when you are fearful, angry, stressed, anxiety, right? This is the HPA axis. So by having these thoughts, this is electrical. The hypothalamus automatically translates those thoughts to the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland tells which organ or the organ to produce which hormones, and we become that thought. Fear, anger, stress, anxiety, the HPA axis. Those thoughts are translated. The pituitary gland sends that electrical impulse down the spinal column to the vertebrae that control the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands, you take the lungs, the liver, the stomach, and the intestines. The adrenal glands are right there. They sit on top of the kidneys. That's where fear, anger, stress, anxiety, all of those things of fight and flight, those low negative impulses, they activate the HPA axis. So now your body is activating your adrenal glands to produce these stress hormones. This is what those thoughts do. Now, when we go ahead and we change these thoughts, see, let's say we think about love. Look, we have a thought of love. Woo! Right? So the hypothalamus takes that electrical input and it translates it to the pituitary gland. But guess what? Love doesn't come from your adrenal glands. It doesn't come from your thymus, your thyroid, none of that. Love comes from the pituitary gland in the form of oxytocin, that chemical messenger. Listen, this is the hormone of love. This is the chemical messenger of love, oxytocin, right? So if I produce this thought of love, because we want to think and grow healthy, I know where certain words lead to and cause which parts of the body to become activated and which hormones to become secreted. And I'm either going to weaken myself or I'm going to empower myself. I'm either going to cause myself to go into that fight or flight stress response, or I'm going to cause myself to go into the rest and digest, the growth response, right? So listen, if I think of love, that HPA axis or HP axis, the hypothalamus pituitary glands, love comes from right here, right? Let's say I want to think about God. Woo! See, these hormones, they come from the brain. Dopamine. This is the brain stem, right? This area right here, if you can see that number labeled 61, this is called the ventral tegmental area, VTA, the ventral tegmental area. This is where dopamine originates from, right? Serotonin comes from the brainstem around where the medulla oblongata is. There's some neurons here. When they are innervated, they cause the release of serotonin, right? When you have oxytocin comes from the pituitary gland, endorphins comes from the pituitary gland. So we have several hormones, chemical messengers that are powerful, that when we think these words, these feelings, this produces that electrical currency, that electrical energy, that electrical flow. The hypothalamus translates this electrical input and it activates, innervates the pituitary glands, and they go and they cause and produce these different hormones, these different chemical messages. Now, like oxytocin, the love hormone, one of its targets is the heart. We need oxytocin for a healthy, strong heart, healthy, strong blood pressure, right? Endorphins. Endorphins is a pain reliever. It can go almost anywhere in the body, right? So when we are looking at these things, we can create that condition that we need because we have a system in place that's ran by our thoughts. So one of the things that it does is it creates a hormone for our thoughts, turning us into the thought. If we don't understand this, we can be turning ourselves into anything and everything all day, several different things, because we go through a range of thoughts. We go through a range of thoughts. So once we learn that, you know what, my thoughts they create me. If I say I'm hungry, look, if I say, somebody say, hey, how you feeling today? Right? Oh man, I'm sick. I don't feel too good. See, this is the thought. That hypothalamus is going to take that thought. It's going to innervate the pituitary gland, and that pituitary gland is going to cause different organs to secrete different hormones, and you are going to turn yourself into this thought. Just like it say, hey, how you feeling today? Oh man, I'm strong, sir. Right? That thought, that hypothalamus, that electrical input is going to be translated to the pituitary gland, and my body is going to produce that chemical messenger, that corresponding chemical messenger. And I'm going to literally, figuratively, physically turn myself into this thought. So we can literally think and grow healthy. We can think and grow strong. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, they teaches us that heaven and hell are conditions of the mind. That's your thoughts. We become that through this process. Our endocrine system is designed to take that electrical impulse of our thoughts and to create the chemical hormone and push us in that direction. Let us take advantage of it. Let us learn how to use my thought to create the response inside of me that will allow me to think and grow young, to think and grow healthy, to think and grow strong, to think myself into my abundant life. Woo! If we aren't, then that's where we find the imbalance. That's where we find the chaos. That's where we find the inability to be successful, because life is on purpose. And if you don't know that this formula is happening into you, then that's where we can easily find ourselves creating something that, man, that's not what I really want. Man, and if we don't know how to get ourselves out of it, we can stay stuck and be on that roller coaster of anxiety, of depression, of anger, of fear, of all of those low negative words and thoughts and emotions and frequencies. And we can find ourselves not being able to get off because they have something. Listen, they have a science that is called, listen, this is the science. Psychosomatic, right? Psychosomatic. Psych is mind, soma is body, right? This is the connection between the mind and the body. This is the connection. The mind leads the body. So when we have those thoughts, right? The hypothalamus automatically, it's the bridge. It translates those thoughts, and the pituitary gland is going to automatically activate it. Our body to produce those hormones. and we will become that thought. So we will either create order or disorder. We will either make ourselves healthy or sick. So this is that psychosomatic connection between the mind and the body. And it proves that the mind leads the body, that we can put ourselves in a condition just with one word. And that condition will be good or bad depending on that one word. And the only thing that will get us out is if we change our words. The only thing that will get us out is when and if we change our words. So we have the science, look, the science of thought and the art of thinking, a manual for rising above emotions. So when you're looking at that psychosomatic connection, it's based on this, your thoughts and your thinking. So we give you the science of the thought process. So now when you go to use your thinking, you can use the thinking that will get you right to where you need to be, want to be, have to be immediately. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the Nation of Islam, we are taught to create your heaven and set yourself in it at once. Woo! How do you do that? With your thoughts, with your thinking. And your body, your brain is already designed to create it physically. As soon as you think it, he says nothing is more powerful than a made up mind. Listen, nothing is more powerful than a made up mind, because when my mind is made up, I'm not changing it. So the thoughts that I'm producing, I'm going to continue to produce them. So if I'm producing strong thoughts, healthy thoughts, godly thoughts, righteous thoughts, thoughts of life, the only thing that can stop me is if I change my mind. But once I learn how to control my thoughts, once I learn how to use my thinking, now I'm in control of my life and my death. In How to Eat to Live, page 52, book 1, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that there is no set time for us to die, that we kill ourselves daily by means of what we think, what we eat, and what we drink. This is that thought process that kills us. It creates a disconnect, a disorder between the mind and the body. And our thoughts will literally make the physical body sick. And you will go to the doctors and your blood test will be negative. They'll do an MRI, EKG, ECG, all of the tests. We can't find nothing wrong with you, but you feel ill, you feel sick, you're in pain. So family, listen, I'm going to put the links to the books, The Endocrinology of Healing and Life, Science of Healing Self and Abundant Life. Woo, man, how to use your own endocrine system to heal you, to empower you, to imbue you with your life. My gift from me to you. Family, thank you all for tuning in. Remember, it's never too late. The only thing is it doesn't start until you start it. So if you're ready to start it today, it will begin today. And then when you go to wake up, you will find yourself, one day you're going to be healed. You're going to be done with your healing journey. And then you will be working on improving your health. And then you will wake up and you will have improved health. And then you will be working on getting stronger. And you will wake up and you will be strong. Now you can grow young. Now you can enjoy abundant life. That's a fun and easy formula. We're ready when you are. So family, thank you all for tuning in. I pray that these words will receive in the spirit that I was striving to deliver them out. The spirit of your brother, the spirit of love, and of course, and always, in the spirit and in the name of God. So I leave you in some words of peace. I say, Namaste Hotel. Power to the people. Salam alaikum. Peace.